describe you as a social conservative and more of an economic moderate. And let me clarify by saying that in your time in the States and in the Senate, you have supported tax increases. Some of your party didn't, some of your party fought against them, some of your party fiercely fought against them. And since she's been in Congress, well, Congress certainly in the United States, since she's voted for some tax increases, certainly she voted for the 1993 Budget Act, but she's also voted to cut taxes. How would you compare and contrast your record when looking at it sort of from a macro perspective? It's very similar in terms of a willingness to support a tax increase sometimes and a willingness to cut taxes. How are you different? And how would voters from Arkansas know how you're going to vote on tax issues when we get to Washington based on the record?
That's a good question, David. Isn't it great he showed up here tonight and put us on the spot like that? But that's where we need to be, in my opinion, always. And I guess that maybe the descriptions you used probably, I think that's fair. I really do. And I think that we need to be ready to give an account. We had a Republican caucus down at the headquarters during the session, and we had a fellow come in there from a group and said, "We want you to sign an anti-tax pledge." And he said, "Some of you signed it and then you voted." And it wasn't I, because I didn't sign it, but there was a fellow, and y'all know who it was probably, that signed that tax pledge, and then he voted for a tax, and they were getting on his case. I asked that guy that day, and this is the kind of guy I am, and this is the kind of guy I'll be when I go to Washington. Because frankly, I've got a job, and I'll have one when I get through up there, whatever way it is. I said, "Have you got an anti-spending pledge in Washington?" I might consider signing one of those, but an anti-tax pledge. But I have an aversion to those, because I know folks that sign those things and turn right around and then just do the opposite. And frankly,
but would you do that? I mean, you seem to be a guy who...
No, I'm not going to sign the pledge, and here's why. This vote, and the one I have now in the Arkansas Senate, I represent the most populous district in the Arkansas Senate. That's Benton County. It's the fastest, in fact, you can look at the history, it's the fastest growing district in this state. And I'm proud to represent it. But that vote does not belong to me. It belongs to 100,000 people that I represent. And I'm not going to let some outfit from Washington, D.C. or anywhere else come in here and get me to sign Arkansas's vote over to do what they want me to do. I'm not going to do it. I'll listen to them, and I want to listen to what they have to say. But I've seen that go on down here, and it just doesn't work. Now, specifically, here's how I had voted for a tax. I voted to increase the income tax on a surcharge because we were running out of money in this state, and they either had to do it or turn the people out of the prisons and stop the Medicare and so on, because we were not planning ahead then. And let me tell you something, folks. You need to understand this in Arkansas. In the 03 session and the 05 session, under my work on the Budget Committee and some others, senators, the people that were running it then, we stopped the spending in Arkansas, spending all of it, A, B, C, C1. You recall, we used to spend it all. We just kept spending it all. Well, during those two sessions, we stopped that. We're not going to do that. And that's why we had a surplus at the end of those years. But folks, we're going to go right back to the same thing now. And we've got folks running around right now saying, "Oh, Arkansas has a balanced budget." Yes, we require a balanced budget, but they don't tell you the rest of the story. And that's the fact of the matter is that we owe the federal government right now $200 million, Arkansas does. And in another year and a half, it'll be $390 million for unemployment taxes. And to run around and say, "Hey, and you know, we're going to pay those one way or the other, or else the Chinese are going to pay it." But to get up and say, "Oh, we got a balanced budget, we don't..." Let me tell you, they need to tell you the truth about it. We need to tell you the rest of the story. So, but we took that surcharge off. We didn't have to do it the next time because we haven't been spending anymore. We have a category now, and you don't get out of that. And the governor, to his credit, and I asked him to do it, but because I asked him, I suggested in the Budget Committee, "Governor Beebe, let's stop it before we run out of money." And I said the same thing at my Ford dealership and Chrysler dealership this morning. We don't have a GM dealership anymore. They done took that away. But anyway, so
let me ask you this.
Let me finish something. The one other thing on this tax deal is that with the tobacco tax. Here's my philosophy as a businessman, as a 71-year-old Arkansan. If you're going to do it, you pay